Set in a hostel, the film follows a group of ladies who are expected to act in a certain way and adhere to a strict code of virtue. Vestilus Academy is where they are currently residing. They will begin at a young age and progress through each level until they reach adulthood. The last level is level 16. Little girls are washing their faces in line in the hostel, but Sophia, one of them, drops her belongings in the process. She asked her other acquaintance for assistance because she couldn't locate it on her own. The girl who aided Sophia was apprehended by the guards, nevertheless, because the line had been broken. She is being taken somewhere lower by the guards to be punished. No other girl is to glance at her. Doing so would also get them in trouble. Every virtue, including obedience, cleanliness, patience, and humility, is inculcated in them as they mature. A TV video unexpectedly becomes corrupt when the girls are watching it in one of their classes. Not only does Greta want to skip class, but so do the other girls. But since they are the most submissive, Vivian advises that they wait for an order to continue until someone gives them the all clear. It takes a few minutes for the TV to turn on again, but then it does. Among the girls gathered in one room is Ms. Brixel, head of the academy. She enters and declares that the girls are ready to graduate from level 15 and move on to the last stage of level 16. Because reaching level 16 has been a lifelong goal of the girls, who have been diligently training since they were young, they are overjoyed to hear this news. Since other girls are also enrolling in training in the new Rose Hall, Ms. Brixel invites Rita and Vivian to accompany her. Ms. Brixel summons them to a room full of girls. There, Sophia finds herself surrounded by peers at her level. The girls are behind, therefore Ms. Brixel thinks Rita and Vivian should teach them what they know. Sophia and Vivian get into an unintentional altercation in the restroom because Sophia has been hovering around Vivian and making unwanted advances ever since she arrived. She is still following the rules, so she declines. When a family adopts the girls the next day, Ms. Brixel instructs them on proper clothing. She explains that their attire should reflect the socio-economic status and cultural heritage of the household receiving them. Additionally, Ms. Brixel presents the girls with the outfits that have their names stitched onto them. The academy did not teach reading to the girls, so they were illiterate. But the girls couldn't be happier with their stunning new gowns. At night, they must swallow a vitamin tablet to ensure their bodies are healthy, and then they will quickly retire to their bunk beds. After being agitated by Sophia's constant presence the previous day, Vivian finally leaves and heads to the hall with the other girls. Do not take the vitamins. Instead, act as if you have not taken them, advises Sophia. While standing in line, Vivian considers what Sophia said and decides to take her counsel. At first, she disregards it. Vivian swallows the blue tablet, but she immediately dashes to the adjacent restroom to flush it down the toilet. What follows that is a mystery to Vivian. While the girls are sent to sleep, Vivian remains awake. Even though Ava has been calling her name, she is too deep asleep to hear her, according to her glance at her bedmate. Sophia bolts out of bed and heads straight for Vivian. The vitamins they ingested, according to Sophia, will put them to sleep and give them power over their dreams. When someone comes in, Sophia advises Vivian they should act as if they're asleep. Initially, Vivian is skeptical because she views the suggestion of skipping medicines as a type of rebellion. Everything will be okay, Sophia says. All she has to do is follow her. All of a sudden, they perceive footfalls approaching their chamber. After Vivian leaves, Sophia dashes straight to her bed, where she promptly falls asleep. Vivian and Rita are escorted into the room by Ms. Brixel and two security officers. Vivian is making a sleeping face as she and the other girl are led to a private room on the lower level of the dorm. Along with the couple who want to purchase a girl, Ms. Brixel is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Dennison. As Vivian listens, Ms. Brixel describes the girls in detail, including their characteristics, physical attributes, statistics, and price. When Ms. Brixel assures the girls that she will fetch the wine, Mrs. Dennison observes their expressions. The couple will remain at the location while Ms. Brixel is not there. The wife is attempting to assess their actions by studying her reflection in the mirror. On the opposite side of the room, her husband is fuming over Mrs. Dennison's apparent withdrawal from the procedure, despite their significant sacrifices leading up to it. Their disagreement centers on whether or not they will actually undergo the procedure. Ms. Brixel walks in with a bottle of wine and asks the couple if they're okay while they're fighting. After much deliberation, the pair settles on Rita. Once again, the guard ushers Vivian inside the dorm, where she promptly stands up and spills the beans to Sophia. She came to the realization that the families mentioned by the academy are not interested in adopting them, but rather in selling them. Having been obedient her whole life, Vivian's heart is breaking as these things set in. There is no chance for them, which is why Sophia tells her to leave the room. However, this time the guards sees Sophia after they pretend to sleep again upon hearing another footstep. Vivian attempts to walk outdoors and take stock of her surroundings while Sophia is away. Vivian and Sophia are more inseparable and chat constantly the next day. They're even closer than before. When the girls are summoned one by one to attend Dr. Miro's routine checkup, Vivian is understandably terrified since she has stopped taking her medication. A lot of questions on her, her emotions, and her recent activities are asked by Dr. Miro. As their appointment draws to a close, Vivian confides in Dr. Miro about her sleeping scabs. As the doctor attempts to diagnose the condition, Vivian lifts up her dress to reveal the lesions on her back. Despite his initial disappointment, Dr. Miro treats Vivian's wound with medication and ointment before sending her on her way, despite the fact that it is an unclean kind of cleaning. Dr. Miro is both angry and saddened when Vivian tells him that she hasn't been taking her medication for some time. He offers Vivian a second opportunity despite his threat to report her. The doctor gives Vivian another chance, but then injects her with medication that makes her lightheaded and high when she leaves the office. Back in the dorm, Vivian and Ava are arguing when two of Vivian's rival girls sneak into the corner, wish to record the altercation, and dial a number. Suddenly, everyone stands up, and a crazed Miss Brixel storms into the room, dragging Vivian inside and placing her in a cage beside the hallway. Miss Brixel has warned her that she will be wasting her time there till graduation if she does not reflect on all she accomplished. In the dead of night, Sophia climbs out of her bedroom to see if Vivian is still there. When she does, Vivian begs Sophia to stay with her, but Sophia refuses. In search of a key or other means of egress, Sophia visits the offices. Just as Sophia is about to use the rope she's had for ages to try to suffocate the guard starts racing after her. As the situation worsens, Vivian begins to wonder whether it was all a dream. Miss Brixel opens the cage as Vivian hears footsteps approaching. She then carries Vivian to the chamber where the other girls are waiting. Enforcers such as Dr. Miro, Miss Brixel, and others are present to chastise the females. They said that Sophia had deceived them and that important belongings had gone stolen. Downstairs, she was reprimanded and locked out. In his enraged state, the doctor forces each of the girls to come clean. However, they abduct Rita and face punishment as no one is responding. Dr. Miro gives Miss Brixel what she finds. It's not even lost. As the girls go back to their rooms, and Vivian glances out to see them chatting. After a terrifying realization that Sophia is no longer in her bed, Vivian cautiously makes her way to the door behind her bed, where she attempts to use the card she obtained from her. After Vivian realizes the card isn't functioning, she takes action by unscrewing the door's fasteners. She proceeds to the adjacent corridor after spending many minutes figuring out how to remove all of the screws. Contrarily, Miss Brixel intends to inject Vivian after visiting Dr. Miro's office and adding a certain liquid to the injection. When Miss Brixel hears what she believes to be some unneeded noises, she quickly figures it out and summons Vivian inside. They are locked in a fierce confrontation. Vivian is well-informed and eager to visit Sophia, despite Miss Brixel's continued attempts to gaslight her. As Miss Brixel reaches for the syringe, Vivian seizes the lamp above the desk and slams it into her head. Suddenly, the tables have turned, and Vivian injects Miss Brixel with the needle. After that, Brixel loses consciousness. As Vivian scurries to the top of the steps, thoughts of Sophia cross her mind, prompting her to descend and search for her. After entering a dimly lit chamber with numerous cages, Vivian keeps on talking until she comes upon Sophia, who is laying in one of the cells, and tries to free her. As they explore the area further, they come across a morgue with victims in bags. They attempt to decipher the writing, which they discover to be Rita's name. Upon opening the bag, they find Rita's lifeless, skinless body. Screaming, Vivian and Sophia dash for the steps leading out of the building. Because she can't bear to leave the other girls behind, Sophia returns to the other hallways in an effort to persuade them to join her. After she disrupts many other girls' courses in progress, Sophia rounds up the students and directs them to the stairs. Attempting to explore on her own, Vivian returns while Sophia isn't around. The video starts playing as soon as Vivian taps the screen in her workplace. It depicts Dr. Moreau and Miss Brixel discussing their revitalizing hospitals. In order to help elderly women like Mrs. Dennison regain their youthful glow, they are harvesting skin from young women and transplanting it into them. This is all a ruse, Dr. Moreau says in the video, because the donor will be spotless and ideal for them. Rita, who had been a victim, comes to mind as Vivian's heart sinks in disbelief at what she witnessed. When Vivian coaxes Miss Brixel out of hiding and makes her confess in the Rose Hall, Miss Brixel's devotion to Dr. Moreau prevents her from doing it, but the girls discover her operation scars when they examine her back neck. She is, in effect, also wearing the skin of another person. The girls rush to the stairs, and as soon as they're there, they burst out, setting off the alarms. The alarm goes off, and every single guard tries to stop Vivian and Sophia. Eventually, one of the guards gets physically violent with them. The guard stabs Sophia, inflicting injury. However, Vivian arrives just in time to assist her in lowering the injured guard from the rooftop where they find themselves. The girls muster a great deal of bravery to stand up to the guard, who they fear may harm them or send them back to the academy. They manage to knock the guard out, and he plummets to his death from the rooftop. They order the girls to flee the area. Separately, Vivian and Sophia flee from the authorities in a desperate bid to avoid capture. Regrettably, they have no idea what the outside world is like. They attempt to hide in a room, similar to a prison cell, but Vivian locks the door behind them so that they can't be picked up again. Dr. Moreau and the other guards spot them. Dr. Moreau attempts to have a conversation with them, explaining that he is receiving the impression that they have been treating him and his family like family. Gaslighting them is an act of vengeance on his part. He needs to enter the room and bring them back to the academy to treat Sophia's wounds because he sees that she is hurt and can't move, but Vivian refuses. As a result of her anger and hurt, Vivian approaches Dr. Moreau and tells him everything on her mind. Being cared for to die properly makes her life seem like a lie. With the knife at her side, she cuts her own face. Because it is the thing that Dr. Moreau cherishes the most, he becomes terrified. Afterwards, they departed. When the police discovered Sophia and Vivian's secret the following day, they promptly fell asleep close to each other. The police come to their aid and inquire about the whereabouts of the other victims, but Vivian is in such much agony that she is unable to speak. As a gesture of assistance, the police officers took Sophia, who was severely injured, with them. As the film comes to a close, we see Vivian and Sophia embracing, relishing in the first ever dawn on their faces despite the rain. They were able to escape at last,